Welcome to a rainy day in the RV park. My weatherman says it's going to be raining here for the next 2, possibly even 3 days. So I decided if the weather's going to keep me stuck inside in this RV, then I might as well cook something. In this round of trailer hood cooking, we're going to make a down-home favorite. That's right, kids, we're making chicken and dumplings. To get started, I went ahead and threw my chicken in the pot. I have bone-in chicken thighs here. And I filled the pot with about 2 quarts of water. It's a little less than halfway full. You could use whatever chicken you want. If you wanted to throw a whole chicken in here, you could. If you wanted to do chicken breast, you could. You could use a couple Cornish hens in there. I've even been hard up and went and got a rotisserie chicken. Threw the rotisserie chicken in the water for about 15-20 minutes, to pull some of the flavors off of it, and then pick that apart. With our chicken and water in the pot, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our vegetables. In here I have a large chopped up onion. I have 4 stalks of celery and 4 carrots. Pour that in. Now if you like your vegetables with a little bite to them, maybe go ahead and just give the chicken a head start, half hour, and then add the vegetables. For me, I'm just cooking for myself. And I like my vegetables nice and soft, so I'm putting them in now. And here's our spice blend. We have a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon garlic powder, half a teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of oregano, and you know how we do. I went ahead and threw some red pepper flakes in there to get some of that hot stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here too. We're just building flavors here in our base. What we do now is I'm going to take this pot, I'm going to throw it over here on the stove, put it on a simmer, and let it go for an hour. We want to cook it until the chicken meat falls right off the bone. I'm going to get it started. I'll let it go for about a half hour, and then we'll check it. We are a half hour in. Here's how the goodies are looking. Oh yeah, it's coming along. Definitely needs a while longer. We'll let it go another half hour and check it then. Man, got that good snack going on up in here. We are now a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes. This is what things are looking like. Oh yeah. Alright, well it's getting rather hot in my RV. So I went ahead, I'm going to turn the fire off here. I'm going to pull my chicken out, let it start cooling down so I can pick it apart. Let things cool off in here, and we'll start working on our dumplings and wrap this up. Whew, alright, things cooled down in here. I went and got all the meat picked off the bone. I'll set that over here for a minute. And now it is dumpling time. In here I got 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and for some seasoning I went ahead and threw in a half a teaspoon each of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Next thing we got to do is we need to work in some shortening. I went with this here Crisco butter flavored. Comes in these 1 cup bars, and I usually use somewhere between 1/3 to 1/2 of it. So I'm going to plop this in here, and then I'm going to just start working it in with my fingers. And in the end, this will the flour will become much more coarse as I work it in. Uh-oh, someone forgot to buy buttermilk. No buttermilk. So, I don't have any regular milk either. So, we're going to improvise. I went ahead, I pulled out 1/4 cup of the broth from the pot. Let it cool down a little bit. And then I have some heavy whipping cream that we're going to add later on. And I'm just going to pour out about a half a cup of that, and we'll start working this in. Turn the fire back on our broth and carrots, celery, and onions, and we are ready to start adding the dumplings. What we'll do is we'll add about half of them, stir them around, give them about a minute or two, and then add the second half. Everybody's in there. It all looks good. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit now. And we'll let them cook for about 15-20 minutes. About 15-20 minutes went by, and this is what we got. I was stirring this throughout the cooking process, just very gently. Sometimes you got to come in and get your spatula underneath it, and then kind of push across the bottom, make sure nothing's stuck on the bottom. Okay, we're ready to add our meat. If you didn't want to use dumplings in this, I've done this with other things, like I've used the cheese tortellini in the frozen food section, and then sometimes, you know, I have to add a little bit of a slurry to that to thicken it up. I have also, instead of dumplings, I have also put in these suckers here. Oh yeah, me be likey. Very good with those. But we did ours with the flat dumplings. And I'm also going to add in some cream. This is heavy whipping cream. That was probably about a cup and a half. I'm just going to work this in. I better taste this. Needs more salt. Instead of salt, I'm going to go ahead and use the Tonys. And I'll put in about a teaspoon. Maybe a little more. Alright, I'm going to work this in, put it back on the stove for about 10 minutes while I make some Texas toast, and then we'll make a bowl. It's done. This is what we got here. Looks good. Got a lot of nice dumplings down in there, big old hunks of chicken. Let's try a bite. Okay, got a little bit of everybody on there. This is fantastic. Whoa. I can tell you right now, I should have made a double batch. Seriously, Ron, this is outstanding right here. Just the perfect consistency. Has the right amount of spice to it. Carrots, everything's nice and soft, just the way I like them. If it's cold or rainy where you're at and you're just looking to lay around and make something hearty, this is it right here. Woo! Well, thanks for spending some time with me, folks. I've enjoyed myself. Hope you guys try this dish. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.